NVIDIA set out with a simple goal: make video games look incredible. But in the process, they accidentally built the engine that's now powering the entire AI revolution. So let's get into it. This is the story of how a company for gamers became the single most important company for our artificial intelligence future. Okay, so get this. In June of 2024, NVIDIA's market value just skyrocketed to an unbelievable $3.34 trillion. For a brief moment, it was the most valuable company on the entire planet. To try and wrap your head around that number, that's more than the entire economy of the United Kingdom. Just wow. Which, brings us to the central question we're trying to answer here. How on earth did a company famous for making video game cards become the most important force in the world of AI? Well, the answer is a pretty wild story of vision, a little bit of luck, and a secret weapon they built almost by accident. All right, so let's rewind the clock. Way before AI was the buzzword it is today, NVIDIA was all about one thing, and one thing only: creating absolutely incredible 3D graphics for your PC. And the whole journey starts, of all places, at a Denny's back in 1993. You've got three engineers dreaming of bringing movie-style 3D graphics to home computers. By 1999, they do it. They release the GeForce 256, the world's very first GPU. A year later, they're powering the first-ever Xbox. And then in 2006, they released this quiet little piece of software called CUDA. Almost nobody noticed it at the time, but it would end up changing literally everything. Now, the founders had this huge, grand vision for something they called accelerated computing, but they were also brilliant strategists. They knew they needed a killer app, a first home run to really prove what their technology could do. And they found the perfect one: video games, an industry that had, and still has, an insatiable appetite for more and more processing power. So this focus on gaming forced them to solve a very, very specific problem. And their solution, well, it turned out to be the secret key that unlocked the entire future of AI. To really get their secret, you have to understand the difference between your computer's two brains. You've got the main brain, the CPU. It's a master of doing things one after another, what we call serial processing. It's great at a few complex tasks. But a GPU? It's a master of parallel processing. It was literally designed to handle thousands of simpler tasks, like coloring in every single pixel on your screen, all at the exact same time. Here's the perfect analogy. Think of a CPU as one giant super soldier. Incredibly skilled, but he's doing one thing at a time. A GPU, on the other hand, is an army of thousands of soldiers, all attacking the same problem at once, in parallel. And it was that parallel architecture, that army, that was the secret NVIDIA had perfected for gaming. Okay, let's go back to that mysterious software from 2006, CUDA. See, for years, only game developers could really tap into that army of soldiers inside the GPU. CUDA was the software key that unlocked that power for everyone else, for scientists, for researchers, for any developer out there. It allowed them to use a GPU for any kind of problem, not just for making pixels look pretty. And right here, this is the aha moment. It turned out that the math required to train an AI, a deep neural network, was shockingly similar to the math needed for rendering 3D graphics. The exact same parallel architecture they built to process millions of pixels at once was the absolute perfect tool for processing the millions of calculations needed to train an AI. This was the accidental revolution. And just like that, the stage was set. NVIDIA had the perfect hardware and the perfect software at the exact moment the world was waking up to the power of deep learning. They were perfectly positioned to fuel the AI explosion that was about to happen. Many experts point to this specific moment in 2012 as the Big Bang of modern AI. There was this neural network called AlexNet running on NVIDIA GPUs, and it didn't just win an image recognition contest, it absolutely shattered the records. The results were so much better than anything that had come before that the entire research community just snapped to attention. The secret was out: GPUs were the future of AI. So now, fast forward to today, and NVIDIA's vision has completely evolved. They don't just sell chips anymore. They are building the infrastructure for what they call AI factories. These are just massive data centers packed with tens of thousands of their GPUs, designed to take in the world's raw data and refine it into intelligence. And believe me, it's working. Over 40,000 companies are now using NVIDIA's tech to power these factories.
The financial results from this shift are just staggering. I mean, revenue is up 56% year over year, but the real story is where that money's coming from. Their data center revenue, that's their AI chip business, now makes up almost all of their income. The company that was built on gaming is now truly an AI company.
So what are these AI factories actually doing? Well, they're powering some of the most complex challenges humanity faces. We're talking about accelerating drug discovery, creating super high-fidelity climate models, training autonomous vehicles, building the next generation of robots, and even creating entire digital twins of real-world factories to optimize them. The impact is just enormous.
And you better believe NVIDIA is not resting on its laurels. In fact, they have an incredibly aggressive public roadmap designed to not only maintain their lead, but to accelerate it.
What's remarkable is just their cadence. This isn't some vague promise. It's a clear, multi-year plan laid out for everyone to see. They're shipping the Blackwell platform right now. That's going to be followed by Rubin in 2026, then Rubin Ultra in 2027, and another huge leap with Feynman in 2028. They are promising a new generation of performance every single year. And the performance gains they're targeting are exponential. By 2027, with that Rubin Ultra platform, they are promising a staggering 21-fold increase in performance compared to the systems that are just shipping today. That's the kind of power you need for the next generation of AI models that can actually reason and plan.
As their CEO, Jensen Huang, puts it, the AI race is on. And with their current Blackwell platform and this aggressive roadmap, NVIDIA has positioned itself right at the center of it all. They're basically providing the fundamental tools that everyone else is using to compete.
So that leaves us with a final fascinating question to chew on. NVIDIA started all this by accident, but has now purposefully built the foundational infrastructure for our AI-powered future. As a single company lays down the picks and shovels for this new gold rush, what happens when the entire world starts building on that same foundation? What comes next?